There, we should be on.
Good morning, everybody. A little delay here, a little bit of confusion.
Sorry, guys.
Today is Thursday, May 22nd, 2014, and this is Before the First Cup with Zori and Lady Pitbull on UCY.TV. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, guys. Had some confusion here.
It's early. We have an excuse for this thing.
As well, yeah. What time is it there?
Oh, well, it's 6 a.m.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's 9 here. Oh my goodness. I don't know.
A late start is better than no start at all.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, I've never had that happen before, be put on hold. It's something new.
Well, I think Jules tried to get in and didn't realize that that I had already connected into the network. And and then she is gonna go. She didn't even get a cup of coffee yet, so I'm sure she'll join us in a little while.
See, this is real radio.
That's right.
No scripts or anything because nobody could write this script for sure.
That's for sure. That's okay though. We're here and we're live, and that's all that counts.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful blue sky day here. Knock on wood, so far no spraying going on over us. Everything is lush and green and beautiful for once. That's great.
Yeah, do you have a garden started yet, or is it?
Oh no, I can't start a garden because I'm renting and I virtually have a river for my backyard.
Ooh, that's nice though.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can actually, instead of a garden, I can stick a fishing pole back there, you know, and catch some fish, which is really neat.
That's neat. I'm not a fisherwoman. My mom was, and my dad loved to fish. I can't hook them. I can't hook the worm. I just feel sorry for the poor fish, so.
Oh. My grandfather was an avid fisherman and taught us how to fish. But that's in salt water down in Florida. I haven't really fly fished or lake fished or, you know.
Oh, my mom and dad, when we were home, they would be down at the pier every weekend, and then we spent all my summers on the Colorado River. We had a trailer and boat and stuff there because they fished. They fished 24/7. I mean, they loved it. And so, and me being an only child is kind of rough because I hated to fish.
Ah.
But there were good things too about it. So anyway, but yeah, fishing is good if you can do it.
That's right.
Yeah. But I wanted to start out with this, article that this guy described why really no one's ever held accountable. I mean, he did a good job of, you know, we're always saying, why aren't they being held accountable? Why this? Why that? Well, this, his name's, I'm sure you know him, but I have a hard time pronouncing his name. Charles Krauthammer. He says, I think what it is an epidemic of incompetence and neglect. Precisely because as every one of these other scandals unfolded, the administration mouths words about accountability, talks about responsibility. Some people, like the Secretary of State, even the President, say the buck stops here. But the buck stops nowhere because no one pays. No one is fired. No one is demoted. The only person who got hurt in the Benghazi affair, hurt in the terms of his career, was the guy in Tripoli, Greg Hicks, the man who blew the whistle, the man who essentially heard his colleague dying at the other end of the phone, essentially. He got demoted because he said the truth. And that's what happens. Once that happens, it becomes epidemic and no one is responsible for anything. So why should anybody stick their neck out? You know, that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, it pretty much does.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you sick. I mean, what?
Well, it's just like, you know, we were talking people, they, you know, so many things are happening around us. How can anyone be oblivious to it? Because nobody ever stands up. They're not going to be the ones to stand up and go, hey, this is bullshit.
Right. Throw themselves on the wire and everything.
Right, because they're afraid that their friends won't like them, that people will think they're a kook. And so although everyone's thinking it, no one will come out and say it. And that's
Right.
really sad.
Well, it is. And this is what makes slaves. You know what I mean?
But you gotta be that one. You gotta be that oddball. You know, I mean, didn't you too, you find out who your friends are and who they aren't. A real friend can disagree with you and still be your friend.
Right.
You know? And, yeah, you can't ever give up. We were talking about that earlier. And, you know, I mean, we can't give up. You can't give up because it's in you now. I mean, I couldn't imagine you sitting around having coffee with a bunch of people, talking about all kinds of things, but always avoiding what's going on in the world.
Oh, well, I could never personally do that, but it just, I don't know. The faith in humanity has been shattered. You know, it's a generality, I guess. I don't know. It's like, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Well, whenever that, you know, I always think about, whenever I get down about things like that, I think about all the people in chat, all the people that I've met, you know, involved in, humanity and loving people who really care. I mean, there's Dane Whittington, there's Jules, there's so many people that make up for the ones that aren't listening yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, it's the ones that do listen and that are awake and the infighting and all that I can't stand. That's what I'm having a problem with. It's the ones that know what the hell is going on and that insist on stabbing each other in the back anyway.
Oh yeah, those people, I love to call those people out. I love to call them out because, you know, I mean, they preach one thing and then do another.
Right.
You call them out on it in front of other people where they have to answer. And, you know, hold people accountable. We say we want the government held accountable and all. Well, our friends need to be held accountable too. I need to be held accountable. Right. We all do. And, you know, a lot of times, like I said, that's what everybody in the room is thinking, but nobody wants to stick their neck out.
Right.
It's an epidemic.
It is.
And you gotta stop being so polite. I mean, I'm nice to people. I hate hurting people's feelings, but there is a time and a place where, you know, they deserve it.
That's true.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know. How can we expect our government to hold people accountable when we don't even hold them accountable? When we allow infighting, when 1 minute we're preaching we need to stand together against this evil and then start backstabbing each other or nitpicking.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't sweat the little things, people. We got a big problem in front of us.
I would say so. I would absolutely say so. There's a lot more bigger stuff, you know, than petty little crap. And it drives me crazy, and it just makes me wanna, I don't know, I get so angry about it, and, you know, I can't, like, do anything, you know, because how are you gonna change people? Really, on a fundamental level, really it's impossible to change people, and people are so entrenched in the way they think and the way they've been conditioned, and it's just.
But everyone is to a certain extent, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But knowledge, I think, if you can just kind of, I don't know, drop hints or whatever, you know, but just, you know, don't. Some people will turn off immediately when you preach. I've learned the hard way about that. Mm-hmm. So I don't preach anymore. In conversations, I drop little things every once in a while, but I don't preach to them. I just say, yeah, and the beautiful blue sky we have today, huh? When you look up and there's nothing but chemtrails.
That's kind of a good way to do that.
Right, you know, and wow, you know, how come everybody's so unhealthy?
Right.
Yeah, you know, just little things now and then, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then they either take it or not, or eventually I think it sinks in. It took me years to wake up a few of my friends, but they're awake now. Not all of them are doing anything about it, but at least they know and they don't, you know, deny what's going on. They just are lost at how or what to do about it, which we all are, but we're going to find our way. I really think people are, especially with this VA thing, that is making people angry. That guy who dies and that secret waiting list and all, and the vets who go, over there and die for this country, or I think they're standing up for this country, and now to find out that, the VA is covering, being so rotten to them, letting them die while they're on some hidden waiting list, and then they got a separate set of, books. That's disgusting, and no one's being held accountable there.
Right.
In fact, Obama says he didn't know anything about it till he read it in the
Oh, yeah, sure, he didn't.
I know.
How can people keep buying this guy's lies? I mean, every time the guy opens his mouth, a lie comes out.
I know. And I mean, he knew about this in 2008. It was brought up in 2009. And now this one, I mean, I don't know.
And then he says, I'm very, very angry about all this, and he's acting like he's all super offended and all this crap when it's really the vets that they're going after. So, and he knows that too. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. How long? I mean, that's one to, if you got people that are just pro-Obama, that's a good one to get them. Just say, hey, Obama's so great, why hasn't he done anything? Why are our vets dying? And books are being covered up. And, and it's his head administrators that are behind it, and he does nothing. Excuse me. What are they going to say? He can't do nothing?
Right. Oh, they'll say some kind of an excuse. He'll act all mad, and then it'll just be,
And no one accountable. That's the big thing. If people would start holding people accountable, then maybe the government would catch on and hold people accountable. I can't remember the last person in government that did something wrong or against the people or crime that was held accountable or even lost their job.
Right, that, it's, try and rack your brain on that one, because nobody has been. I mean, maybe Nixon.
Well, yeah, maybe. But he didn't go to jail, he just resigned.
Right, exactly.
Right. I mean, he didn't get put in jail. He didn't pay no fine. He didn't get deprived of any of his luxuries in life.
No, that's for sure. In fact, the Secret Service continued to follow him.
There you go.
Protect him. Like they do with the rest of them.
So, let me think. I'm trying to think. Now, what if you come out and tell the truth? Are you held accountable then? Or are you held up on a pedestal and said, good job?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, anyone who tells the truth. Just like the guy who blew the whistle in Benghazi. He got demoted.
Oh, demoted, and his family threatened, and sometimes they'll come in there and kill you, suicide you, and, I mean, this is how they operate. It's just, it's horrible.
Yeah, and look at how many policemen who, committed brutality on people or killed innocent people. They always seem to get promoted.
Right. Yeah.
And if someone tries to tell on the cops, like that one cop a couple months back, they fired him. And he's the one that said you got to clean it up from within. So Congress needs to clean itself up because it doesn't seem like we have any way of really getting to any of them.
No, I know.
I mean,
what's frustrating. That's another frustrating thing for me. It's
how many treasonous acts does a president have to do before anyone? I mean, the word impeachment never comes up.
No, and I don't know.
And Nixon what Obama has done, what Bush has done. I mean, Nixon looks like a saint.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know. And here's Obama, like, doing, about 100 times worse than Nixon did for the same damn crimes.
And why don't we impeach him? Maybe the race card? Maybe they knew Obama could get away with doing more of this because no one would dare want to impeach the first black president, no matter how.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he can Obama could take an Uzi and then murder everybody in an open field, man, and he still would get away with it. I mean, it's pretty much what he's doing.
Right. It's really sad that we are being pulled in by the race card. And it's everywhere you look. I mean, isn't that why Holder's still, in office?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think Obama's fired anybody. Anyone. And firing people is hard. I've had to fire people, and it is not easy to do. But you know what? I mean, even running a business, you have to do it. But running a country, and you don't have the capabilities to fire somebody?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, the man's never ran a company, and I'm still amazed that we made him president. Oh, and a second term. Everyone scratches their head. To me, you know what? I don't think he really won. I think the voting machines.
Oh, of course.
I can't believe that many people voted for him a second time.
Well, they probably really didn't. The voting machines did.
Yeah, because, I mean, from the day that, I still don't understand. We don't use voting machines here. We refused. We still use the punch card, that little card thing. But, I mean, everyone knows that computers can be hacked. What are those voting machines but little computers?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Hackable computers.
Yeah. I just got my voting thing here. And how can this I don't know, no one's been able to answer me on this, but how can you obey the law and be a criminal at the same time?
Right. Well, in that vein, I'm gonna there's an article that came out. Did you hear about the cop that allegedly dropped his pants in a coffee shop?
No. Oh my God.
Yeah, so you say what you just said, right? And
right.
We're continuing on with this. Police lieutenant accused of lewdness in a South Jersey Starbucks. A high-ranking Camden County police official has been charged with lewdness after allegedly exposing himself in a coffee shop. Let's see. Alright, I think we're gonna have Jules here too. He allegedly exposed himself in a coffee shop, and his chief calls the allegations deeply troubling. Really, you think? Lieutenant Benito Gonzalez was arrested Friday in connection with the May 7 incidents at the Starbucks restaurant in New Jersey. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see. Authorities say that Gonzalez pulled down his shorts while seated at the table and masturbated. Oh my!
No way!
God.
No way! Now they're going to say it was a good masturbation, so it's okay.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Did they arrest him?
Well, let's see here. I'm trying to add Jules here, so I'm kind of multitasking. Jules should be on.
Okay.
He's there.
Yeah, there you are.
Good morning.
It's just my headphone was unplugged.
Let's see. So he was seated at the table. He pulled down his his shorts, while seated at the table and masturbated. This says the woman who answered the phone at Gonzalez's Deptford home on Tuesday said he was not there. Sure. Camden County Police Chief Scott Thompson said Monday that Gonzalez has been suspended from duty. An internal investigation is taking place. Why
does there have to be an investigation when people seen him doing it? You know.
Why are we reading this? What is this?
It's an officer allegedly drops pants in a coffee shop in South Jersey.
Nice.
And started masturbating under the table. So the police chief said, we are deeply troubled by the allegations of this off-duty conduct. A swift and thorough investigation is being conducted. We were working to ascertain all the facts in this matter with Cherry Hill Police Department and Camden County Prosecutor's Office. So, police initially posted a photo of this man who they identified as Gonzalez with his pants down inside Starbucks on their Facebook page. They later took it off and are now using the picture as evidence.
Oh my God.
Like, somehow he got a picture taken of himself and put it on the cop's Facebook page? What? Man, people are insanely crazy. And so this guy will probably get fired, you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. He'll go to some sex rehab place and then he'll be up back okay. You know, they don't hardly ever go to jail. He'll probably have to do community service or something.
Who knows? But it was just to illustrate what you were talking about, so.
Jacking off in coffee shops?
No, that the cops aren't held accountable for anything.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Go run around, do whatever the hell they want, you know. And
yeah, it doesn't matter what.
Slap on the wrist, pretty much.
Yeah, remember that one, who was it? It was a judge, I think. Jules, do you remember? Oh, it was months back, but he had sex or something with a young girl. He had been he had been molesting this one girl in the I think she was 14 or 15 for a long time, and all he got was community service. Do you remember that? That was a while back, but
I thought it was a teacher.
No, it was a judge. Or was it? No, it was a teacher. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a teacher. But, you know, people, I don't understand it, you know, is there any justice anywhere for, you know, only towards the poor or the people who can't afford an attorney? If you can afford an attorney, you can do just about anything and not go to prison.
Yep.
I don't say that. If you can afford an expensive attorney, that's the key word.
There you go.
Not if you can afford an attorney. I know enough people who have chucked out $10,000 to an attorney and still ended up in jail.
That's
true.
Right. Yeah.
That's very true.
Because they didn't give a shit, the attorney.
Yeah.
It's all about.
Yeah, you know, I mean, for the same crime, 3 people could go in front of 3 separate judges, all guilty of the same crime, and all get different sentences. Like, you know, there's no balance anywhere.
Right. Well, Jules, you got stuff lined up, don't you? What's going on in the world?
5,000 things from the last, 3 disjointed shows. And you know, this computer is giving me a hard time. So wait, I want to get to what happened yesterday while I was in chat. Some people were there. You were there, Zori. Now I'm on a completely different machine and a different network connection. So let's go out to the Before the First Cup page and see what's there. And I am still on the bands. No, wait. All right. Well, here's some news. Just so you know, I removed you as admin.
Oh, okay.
From that page because, it's all back! Okay, because a few things that have happened before in the past on, alternative journalism and some of the other pages where there's a whole bunch of admins, is if one person is under some sort of quote-unquote investigation for anything, somebody flags something on your Facebook page, the NSA doesn't like something you said on air. You know? You posted a picture of, I don't know, the Bundy Ranch skirmish.
Yeah. Well, I didn't post anything on there, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
You had videos I saw that you posted.
I only put them on my Facebook though, but I mean, I never. Well,
that's what I'm saying. So you were on Facebook and you were as an admin on my page. Well, you were probably under investigation. So because of that, they blocked me from posting anything on my own page, and they removed all my stuff.
Man, that was
they
weird.
Don't delete it. They don't delete it. They used to do this to Madison's. It's like they have a hide button. Anything that's questionable that needs someone to look at it personally. And so all my DARPA research, all my brain research.
I know she was frantic yesterday.
And I mean, I have it, not all of it, because as I post stuff on other pages, I'm like, oh, that's something I want to save, and so I'll share it there. But a majority of the large amount of research on the mRNA and being able to reprogram your DNA with these, I remember now, I started digging and I found some of the articles. They have DNA vaccines, and I think I've talked about this briefly, but I don't think I ever got into any detail, and today's not the day, because there's other stuff I gotta get to today. But I want to tell you, search DNA vaccines, because it's in Wikipedia. It talks about using this mRNA, and it's a safe and effective way to get around adjuvants. And we've talked about adjuvants many times. That's how my cat ended up with that carcinoma in his bone cancer, right? And part of the Cornell study. Squalene is an adjuvant. That's what gave all the Gulf War vets in the anthrax vaccine. They had the squalene as the adjuvant. They all ended up getting that Gulf War syndrome. Right. All my friends got sick from that stuff.
That's right.
The aluminum that was in my cat's 3 years rabies vaccine, according to the Cornell study, that's what was causing the sarcomas in the animals. So adjuvants are a bad thing. Now, what is an adjuvant? An adjuvant is a substance that they put into something else that acts as a catalyst. So in the rabies vaccine was only effective for 1 year, so they put this aluminum sulfate or aluminum ferrate or some aluminum component in there that irritates the crap out of your immune system when it's injected into your arm or your leg or your neck or wherever they're going to put it, and it causes your immune system to go into high gear, so it turns the 1 year rabies vaccine into a 3 years rabies vaccine. Well, if you know anything about inflammation or you know anything about chronic disease, that's kind of how it develops, right? Is with a persistent issue that you have. If you always have allergies, this is the one reason why I get so worried about all this crap that bothers me now. Growing up, I never had any problems at all with allergies, and now I'm a big walking ball of sensitivity. And my friend had me tune into AJ last night, and I never listened. It's probably been a good, I don't know. I mean, except for the Bundy thing, I listened for a few minutes to see what he had to say, but I haven't listened at all. And honestly, I made it up about an hour before I woke up sitting upright. And it was 6 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't hear very much again last night. But I was really surprised because sometimes, I swear to God, it's one of two things. Either he listens to the show, A, or the fact that he and I are both Aquarius maybe means something. Because I swear to God, it sounds like he was listening the day before, because he was just going on, but all the same stuff, talking about GMOs and all the whacked out stuff they're doing with it, and just these sensitivities. I mean, even Nick and DB were talking about it. DB's got all kinds of issues now with food. I mean, so many of my friends, I've had issues since the 90s. I had to physically, do my own investigation because all the establishment would say is, oh, you must have cancer. I mean, I think I talked about this. How many times did they diagnose me with some bullshit cancer that didn't exist?
Right. Yeah, they've got our bodies fighting our bodies.
That's exactly what's happening. Yes, an autoimmune disease. I had 2 forms, and that's pretty much what you're doing. Your body is attacking itself because it is misidentifying substances within your own body as foreign organisms.
Exactly.
And I really, really, really think it's the GMO crap. And as I worked my way through my diet and trying to figure out what the hell was killing, because it literally was killing me. I wasn't getting any nutrition. I was so sick. And, it was get rid of all the garbage out of your diet. And TP was even saying the same thing yesterday. Raw foods. If you go back to raw foods and getting, as clean a meat as possible, as clean of vegetables as possible, get rid of all the processed garbage, you start to have some modicum of normalcy again in your health.
But you still have the chemtrails with the barium, which attacks the immune system to fight.
But I'm telling you what, those chemtrails, if my body is healthy, I don't have issues with those. I feel pretty good, even if they're chemtrails, though we don't get a lot here. But I'm just saying, if my body is healthy, I feel so much better. If I can digest the meat I just ate.
Yeah. If you give your body the tools to fight this crap off, even if there was a big giant pandemic of Ebola or something, if you're, really, if you're in tip-top shape and have, like, the immune system of a fortress, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to get sick.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to fight off Ebola, but...
I don't know either.
You have a better chance if your body's healthy. You're right there.
Well, you're a better chance of that 10% that's going to make it.
That's right.
With the 90% mortality rate, yeah. So, anyway, I don't know. Just, I was really shocked. I lost my point now, but I was shocked at just how many people, this has been something, for work, I was just seeing an ad the other day too about the guy going, irritable bowel syndrome and, inflammation and blah, blah, blah. And I gotta tell you guys, back in the 90s, that was, good thing I was friends with my boss because everything I ate made me sick. And when I first started working from home, that was one of my big things. I'm like, I can't go to work. I feel sick. You know what I mean? Like when you felt sick all the time and you didn't do anything, it was debilitating.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
And no doctor. And you can't go say, well, look, I have a doctor's excuse, or look, I'm on medication, or look, I'm on therapy, I'll get better, because nobody knew what was wrong with me.
Right. Absolutely.
And it was called being a big fat experiment.
Yep.
I got a good note here. My roommate just sent it to me. GMO crops banned in Oregon County.
Yeah,
did you cover that?
Well, I don't think I covered it, but Jimmy did, and I posted it a few days ago and got it on Primer Double Cross site. But go ahead.
Well, for those of you who don't know, a ban on growing of all genetically engineered plants appears to be a landslide victory in Jackson County, Oregon, with 100% of the precincts reporting and a huge voter turnout of over 50%, nearly 66% of the voters elected to ban all genetically engineered crops from being grown in that county. Now, if one county could do it, why can't the other counties do it? Are you really, to get it on your ballot, all you got to do is go out and get signatures, and anyone with any part of a brain, would be for banning them. So, yeah, I hadn't seen this. I haven't been keeping up with the news in the last few days, but yeah, that gives me encouragement.
Yeah. One of the things too I was going to mention is, it's the gut bacteria that I think really has a lot to do with it. The probiotics are definitely important. One of the ways I started to discover that it was a food problem, because I didn't even know it was food in the beginning. But one of the ways, and when I start thinking about it, my last year of college is when I first started getting sick. So that was 1990. That's when I first started getting ill, was 1990. And, I think they left me with chronic fatigue syndrome. That's what they told me when I graduated and then had no health insurance.
Yeah.
And then they told me I had leukemia. That was when I went and got the poor person's health insurance through the county hospital. I went and declared I was $4,000 a year was my income, and I had no job because there were no jobs because the Gulf War was just breaking out at that point. Maybe it was 91. And so I had no insurance, no job, and I was dying.
Oh my God.
They diagnosed me with some sort of leukemia that they couldn't identify, and said, okay, well, we don't know what we're going to do. We use light therapy for this. I was like, what? For what? Yeah, some weird thing. And that hospital is all about experimentation and B, it's where they take all the prisoners for the free care. So, yeah, then a friend of mine that I grew up with, we were talking about something, and I was like, I don't know, Mel, man, I'm like so sick, I think I'm dying from something. And she's like, oh my God, this is exactly what my husband just went through the last 5 years with. It's allergies. I'm like, what? I'd never had an allergy in my life before. She's like, yeah, he went through all the same crap. It's allergies. Go get allergy tested. So I did, at the same hospital, by the way. They had an allergy department. And that's where I started to discover all the crazy crap.
Wow.
And that's when I started then experimenting with foods and removing stuff from my diet or adding digestive enzymes. And it fixed, totally, I couldn't even eat meat anymore. I couldn't eat steak. I couldn't eat beef. I couldn't eat chicken. It would sit for a week in my gut and just rot to the point where I felt like I just, puke it to get it out of you.
Sure.
It wouldn't go anywhere. And so I found this protein powder. Back then, they were calling it this designer protein powder, which now I'm thinking about, I'm like, oh man, there's probably some sort of bioengineered crazy stuff that I was drinking, but it had all these digestive enzymes, and I was like, wow, look, they all are like amino acid names. This is when I first started learning about nutrition and herbals, and that's what sent me down the path. So I wouldn't know anything of what I know now with GMO and, all the stuff that I've learned on this journey had that not happened. But digestive enzymes, I think, are probably more important than anything else off the bat, especially when you finally detox from things. You need to get that gut health back, and that gut health is what keeps your immune system in check.
Exactly. I think Shali was talking about that this weekend, or by the way, sorry guys.
Wow, it was like a whole bank of phones ringing. You got a telethon going on there, Lady Pitbull?
That's my friend calling me.
It does. It's like PBS.
I know.
You got a donation bank going on?
No, actually, it's actually really funny. Oh God, it's a multi-ring because she has multiple personality disorders, so it's kind of an inside joke.
Oh, so it's a joke.
It's an inside joke.
Inside joke.
Oh no, I guess I shouldn't have said that on air, but hey. Well. But anyway, Shali did talk about these things last, with, oh God, what's his name now? Jordan DeYoung.
Yeah. And so has, there's a few episodes where Dinah spends a lot of time going into the whole biological system and how it works. And yeah, I'm positive. If the probiotics, I think probably helped me the most in the very beginning. They at least help you get your balance back. The cleansing, the diatomaceous earth, the cleaning yourself out to get rid of all the years of junk that they've stuck into you, is important as well, so you can start absorbing the nutrients that you're not getting, and then finding good food that actually has nutrients and not stuff stripped out of it or bad stuff added to it. But what I wanted to get back to really quick was this page that disappeared on me yesterday. So it's back. It's back and I see everything there, but the whole page was full of DARPA research, brain research, the second generation GMOs, and I was talking about the vaccine. So one of the things, I totally forgot about this until I was searching to try to rebuild this page because I was so pissed. And this adjuvant, right? So they've been using adjuvants, like I said, you could take a 1-year rabies vaccine to a 3-year by putting that aluminum adjuvant in it. But hey, they found out it gives your animals sarcomas. Or they could take, the anthrax vaccine and put the squalene into it. They could use the new flu vaccine that they snuck into the country by declaring a pandemic, right? Barry did.
Yes.
And then they got the European vaccine with the squalene adjuvant that was never approved by the FDA, and it was never allowed in this country until after that happened. So these new DNA vaccines, are utilizing, again, this mRNA. This is the same stuff I was talking about the other day that is in turmeric, that cleans out all the free radicals and then goes in and reorganizes your DNA to make it more orderly. And they think that but that happens on a natural level. Now we're talking DNA vaccines, which involve DARPA, Texas A&M, and the tobacco industry, right? Remember those tobacco vaccines that they were working on?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I never heard that.
I'm not. Well, because no one's reporting that. That was my own research, digging. Now, all that stuff's out here, all those articles. We haven't talked about it yet, but I wanted to get to what this mRNA does in the vaccine. Because last night, again, like I said, I was trying to rebuild some of the stuff. I was so pissed on searching for stuff that I remember titles, and I found the story. And there's a wiki link. DNA vaccines, they're like, oh, well, it's just hypothetical. Well, no, they're playing with it now in the lab, okay? And I'm sure at some point here in the near future, like, I don't know, how about the 650,000 kids they vaccinated in, where was it? Pakistan? And now all those people just came down with polio, right? There's the polio vaccine. And then a story came out yesterday going, oh, yeah, the CIA just gave all those kids polio.
Yes.
Yeah, so, don't think that shit's not going on. The poor little African kids that they're running down there going, oh God, you guys have Ebola, mosquito virus.
Right. CIA
Never
mosquitoes.
before seen in nature.
CIA mosquitoes.
We'll fix you. We got drones now.
That's right. We'll fix the problem.
It makes me so mad. But this is the shit that, there's no R&D anymore, people. Years ago, R&D was a huge budget, especially for tech companies. Now in tech, I'm sure there probably is. But don't think that there is in any of this pharmaceutical crap. If there's R&D, it's in their own little lab. And all those companies. And here's the thing, it's not just pharmaceutical companies. You have R&D mad scientist labs in food companies.
Yep.
And there's not like one FDA scientist that's doing these tests or proving anything. They all hire their own. And they all check out their own stuff. And then you got what? Michael Taylor Spawn just rubber stamping it.
That's right.
If it's genetically modified, that's already been quote unquote proven as safe. So you don't have to approve any new ingredients. It's genetically modified safe.
That's right.
That's how it works. So anyway, getting back to these DNA vaccines. So this is the same way that the second generation GMO is going to work too. Stuff that cures your ills. Like I heard Nick talking about the rice that fixes your eyesight. I was like, no! Not another one, because they infused it with vitamin A or something.
Oh my God.
But, just keep your eyes out for this, because this is how they're gonna take the dumbasses that still don't get it and get them to eat this shit. It's good for you.
Just eat a freaking carrot.
Yeah, we've infused it with baby protein. You're gonna get young again. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's horrible.
And I mean, there is the rice that has the human protein in it, and I don't even remember what the point of that was, but I stopped eating rice after Fukushima, and I remember reading that, I'm not eating rice anymore.
Yeah.
But it's horrible, because now, I mean, honestly, my friend and I were talking last night, what food choices are left? There's not much. There's okay, well, plain meat, plain vegetables.
That's pretty much what I eat.
That's about it.
Honestly, I eat plain meat and plain vegetables. That's it. And eggs.
Yeah, well, I get yelled at because I'm not eating free range eggs. He's like, do you know how many chemicals are in those eggs? From all the crap they feed the chickens. But anyway, let me get back to this vaccine. So basically, instead of an adjuvant, these new DNA vaccines utilize mRNA, which is the mitochondrial RNA that controls all cellular function in your body. Okay?
Right.
Well, that's scary shit. If they're manipulating your mRNA, so here's the thing, they're genetically modifying this mRNA to be able to go into your body And instead of putting an adjuvant in there, which is like a third-party shiv to go, hey, this is something you want to pay attention to. Here, I'm going to give this to you. You're going to recognize it, and then you're going to overreact every time you see the substance. Right? That's what an adjuvant does.
Right.
This is literally going to go in and reprogram your DNA to make you immune to it when it discovers it. So kind of like this new self-healing antivirus that DARPA has a requisition out to find someone to create for them. Okay, I've talked about there's a couple types of antivirus. There's one that we all know and love or hate, where you just download your definition on a regular basis of all of the identified viruses, right? And then if your computer's doing a scan and it identifies something that is on the known list, it goes, hey, I found a virus, and it quarantines it. Then there's the second type of antivirus, and that is a day zero antivirus. And basically, day zero identifies anomalous behavior. So I've talked about this as well. Most applications don't need to access what they call the core, or I don't remember the exact name. It was like the core 0 or something in Windows, and I don't even know what it is now. That was back in the old days of XP and Windows 2000, but it's basically the core root of your operating system, which is where your main operations of your processor and your motherboard all work. Applications typically do not need to access that part of memory, okay?
Right.
And if they do, either A, it's your antivirus, because your antivirus does need to reside in memory, or B, it's an application that shouldn't be on your machine, right? Because there really isn't much else besides your system and your antivirus that need to contact the core.
Right.
So with a day zero antivirus, that's one of the signatures it looks for. Some application on your computer that is trying to access areas that it's not allowed to. And then it will flag bing. Even if we don't know what it is, there's no identified virus yet, it's acting weird, I've quarantined it. So that's pretty nifty. That's actually stopped a lot of big attacks. And you could do that at the core level of the router at the internet service provider, or you can do that on a PC, and a lot of corporations run stuff like that, where there's a core server and it's doing day zero out on all of the endpoints. So in your body, for your immune system, our immune system works like that, right? When we start to feel sick, and we start to get inflammation, and our body starts to have a reaction that there's some foreign organism, even if we've never experienced it before, our natural immune system, without being warped by any chemicals or drugs, goes, hey, something's not right here. Hey, I don't know you.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna quarantine you with white, I don't know, maybe we'll send our white blood cell armies after you.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out what's going on. When you get an adjuvant, that now kicks that into high gear, and it overloads your system with stuff that it doesn't like. And as it puts it into memory, so it's like if you get chickenpox, or like you get chickenpox, your body will always remember chickenpox because you had that virus. If you get the vaccine, though, right, they've discovered that your body might get a mild case with the vaccine, but you still might get it then after.
Right.
But it'll be a milder case than it was before. Now, that's not natural.
No.
That's them screwing with your immune system.
Yeah, turning off all your receptors. It literally clicks them off.
So this mRNA, basically what this mRNA is going to do is to go into your body and reprogram your DNA so you never even have to get chickenpox.
Oh my God.
It's just going to make your body programmed to be immune to chickenpox because they already know what that program is supposed to be in your genes. Now, I don't know about you, but does that sound like a good idea?
No, it sounds like they're turning us into robots on a cellular level.
Yeah, and it sounds like they could do whatever the hell they want. Tell you they're doing one thing and be doing something completely different.
Absolutely.
So, the second generation of GMO foods is using the same concept. So when you consume these foods, and actually when I was doing searches trying to recover some of my documents last night, I came upon a couple things, and I even heard DB mention it. He was saying you are what you eat, and that's so true. The mitochondrial DNA from the stuff you eat ends up in your cells. He's absolutely right. I did a couple searches on that. He is absolutely right, and this is pre-GMO shit. Well, guess what? Second generation GMO is going to have this programmable mRNA in it. That's the mitochondrial RNA. So, if they have that as just like in the DNA vaccines where it can go in and they can make it do whatever they want it to do, when you consume it, that shit ends up in your body and it could be in there programming your DNA.
That's right. Oh my God.
That's some super scary stuff. Absolutely under the covers. 99% of the people are going to tell you you're absolutely ludicrously insane for saying that food and vaccinations can reprogram your DNA. It is no bullshit.
That's right. And it's scary as hell.
It is scary as hell because it's everywhere. And who's to say that they couldn't aerosolize some of this garbage?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And then couple that with all the radiation and everything else they put in up there. And the adjuvants are being sprayed on our heads in the form of aluminum, barium. And so that's just makes everything turn on that you consume. And it just, like a light bulb switch, right?
Yeah.
Turns it all on.
Hey, anyway, so Zori, I did remove you as admin from my page yesterday just because I've run into that before where like one person is under investigation so they block everyone on the page.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all.
Yeah, but it's fixed now. So I don't know, are you having problems with your stuff posting?
No, not yet. Everything's still up. I went and checked after that happened yesterday with yours. So I don't know. They haven't pulled anything of mine yet.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But no, that's okay, because I am putting up some stuff that it'd be better if you left me off as admin, really, for a while.
Alright, I mean, for this page, I guess I don't care. I don't post to it every day, but I have, all those
It's still vital information.
Yeah. I should actually put it on another website somewhere.
Well, I was going to send you this program that I have, and you can save your whole website on your computer and reuse it and re-put it up on the web if yours disappears.
Well, probably if it's HTML.
Huh?
If it's HTML, yeah, you capture all the images and put them, there's a whole syntax as to how to suck down a website and put it back up, but my stuff's all .NET. It's not just HTML.
Oh,
it's an application. It's not a website.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, those are great. They actually zip up all your stuff and put it in the correct directory, so then you can just redeploy it somewhere.
Yeah.
Good for WordPress sites.
Yeah, I did that with Room 101. I still have it, really. On my computer. It's saved. So all
right, I want to get into some of the stuff I've been saving up here. And let's start where we ended the other day, talking about the Michael Jackson hologram, right? And how if you're dead, you're not really even dead because they resurrected him from the dead. He performed a concert at one of the music awards this week or over the weekend, and he was performing a new song. Now tell me if that's not bizarro. Yeah,
that is too freaky.
It really freaked me out, but right in conjunction with that whole story about being able to, project it, it looks so realistic. Is the fact that scientists have cracked an 80-year experiment that they've been trying to crack, and that is to create matter from light.
Oh, you were saying that yesterday.
Some people say that's what happened on 9/11 too. It's been rumored that they used that.
Well, that's what we ended off yesterday. We were talking about the holograms and then the matter from light, and boy, they could stage a UFO invasion, you know what I mean? And just have beams coming down creating God knows what. I mean, geez.
Or God.
Yeah. Jesus walking around in the middle of the day.
Hey, the second coming. You know, I've actually read some stuff about that, you know, if they went about, you know, each person, whatever your religious, and I mean, what the hell, they're doing brain research, so they should be able to read brains here, if not already, right? They could do it if you're in an MRI, they can see your dreams.
Sure.
But to broadcast, like, whoever you believe the second coming is, they would have the whole world on their knees. And, you know, here's the thing, that was what my master's degree and my PhD were going to be in, had I decided to continue in the establishment, was all about how the belief in something, and that's the thing, like, none of this is proven, and I don't care, any religious zealots out there can go and freaking take your Bible and bash me in the skull with it 1,000 times and tell me how it's real and tell me how it's here and tell me how there's all this historical evidence. Well, maybe, or maybe not. Who the hell knows? Because it was so long ago. You know what I mean? It's all belief. There is no, I don't see any bone fragments with DNA sampling proving that it was Jesus, let's say. Okay?
Right.
You know, maybe there is a questionable shroud that has been carbon dated, but there's still questions, and now even carbon and carbon dating is questionable because the half-life has, for some unknown reason, changed from the sun. There is no absolute 100% archaeological proof that Jesus existed. And even if there was, is there any 100% proof short of some other group of people's ramblings of what he even talked about? You know what I mean? Like, we've talked about the problem of history and translation and
yes,
passing things down and how things change over the years, and history is changed by the conquerors.
And the person who writes the books.
Well, right.
You know? Yeah,
and the person who copies the books, like the scribe.
There you go.
So, you know, I don't know. Everything in my personal opinion, is very diluted. Now, do I think that, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, those dumbass take religious books as if they were, you know, books of history and fact, but it's all allegory. Well, you know what? I've been on both ends of that spectrum, and I gotta tell you, I think they're both wrong. I think it's somewhere in the middle.
I agree, Jules.
Just because it was a long time ago and it's been spun off as quote-unquote myth doesn't mean that there is some historical fact in the myth. You know what I mean?
Right, and it doesn't mean that there's absolutely nothing to it at all. You know what I mean? Just because it can't be 100% solid proven, it doesn't mean, like, if you're an atheist, you know, none of it ever happened and discount the entire thing as, you know, throw it all out. That's right. Not good either.
And I mean, have you guys ever heard anything, like embellishment or making an interesting story?
Sure.
And a lot of these stories were passed through oral tradition at one point. You know? So how do you get kids to learn your oral tradition? Well, you make it exciting.
Sure.
So, I don't know. I think that there's a little bit of, you know, truth and probably embellishment in there, but,
or make it scary.
Or make it scary. You're gonna burn in hell. Here comes the devil.
And you put that in a little kid's mind and it sticks with them.
It sure does, and they'll forever be good for the threat of having the boogeyman come suck them down into the burning hole. But the reason why I was talking about that is that the whole premise of my furtherance of my degrees was going to be how so much of the world's blood and guts that have happened have all been based upon some dumb belief system with absolutely no freaking proof, solid scientific evidence to back it.
Exactly.
You know, and so if we would go to the extremes, and I mean, look at the Crusades, the Spanish Inquisition.
Right.
Look at some of those. Look at how many people were killed and tortured, and all the horrible things that happened just because I believe my belief was better than yours.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of monsters are we?
Yeah.
And that was all done in the name of love and religion. An absolute retarded juxtaposition. When I look at that, I just get so angry. So, you know, turning light into matter and broadcasting religious icons. Think about what kind of chaos that could cause.
Sure. A 900-foot Allah smack in the middle of Saudi Arabia or something, you know? Right?
Well, or a 900-foot Allah shows up in the middle of freaking Jerusalem.
Yeah, Mecca or something right smack dab during Mecca.
Well, in one of the Catholic strongholds.
Oh, yeah.
Have Allah say he's coming, you know?
Oh my God.
That's it! You people were wrong! You were on the wrong team! I'm coming back to exact my revenge! Right. You know, like, I think about this stuff because, I don't know, criminal minds, they want to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to be able to think as twisted and as evil as they are. And it's like a mental vacation for me. I don't do anything wrong, but it's what I do. Like, after hours, I sit here and I think up, as I'm reading stories, my brain's going 10,000 miles a minute. And I'm like, oh, what could those fuckers do with this?
Right.
Pretty much it, right?
Yeah, chances are someone's thought of it already.
Right. So, anyway, alright. So, I don't know I just wanted to kind of wrap up the end of what we were talking about yesterday. Few things though, when we started the show, I had a couple topics we were going to get to, right? There were, from sitting back 5 days, I was seeing trends. One was this whole pandemic thing. 2 was this whole Russia-China thing. Mm-hmm. And 3 was this whole hacker thing. And kind of how they're all coming together.
Okay.
Now, did anybody see that China and Russia inked their gas deal?
They inked it?
They inked it and even did cocktails yesterday.
Oh,
shit. I can't find the picture of them doing a drink. I never shared it. It was on the sheet. Yeah, so.
Oh, man. Here we go, man. We are sliding down that slippery slope to World War III.
Oh, yeah, this is pretty big. This is off of Al Jazeera. By the way, if you go out to your cable company, you will discover that Al Jazeera's got a pretty prominent channel. And I gotta say, I was watching it the other day because you can't get any of their videos or anything anymore. They all say they're blocked in this country on YouTube. Yeah, but they launched their cable TV network. So I'm thinking, oh, here's the picture of them getting a drink. Ah! Yeah, alright, hold on. I'll drop this one into chat.
Didn't somebody say Al Gore owns Al Jazeera TV?
Al Gore owns Current TV.
Oh, Current TV, okay.
And I believe Al Jazeera bought it.
Oh.
Or was it Young Turks that bought it? Or was Young Turks on Current TV and then Current TV got sold? Actually, I think Al Jazeera bought Current TV. Somebody do a quick search on that. Because I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So no, Al Gore used to own Current TV. He does not own Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is actually financed by the Saudi government, I believe.
Ugh.
Or maybe it's like Qatar. Press TV is financed by the Iranian government. And then RT is financed by the Russian government. And Voice of America is financed by the U.S. government. Oh, and so is CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN.
Yes.
It's all now State Department propaganda, because it's been legalized, remember?
Yeah, I think Press TV is Israeli.
No, it isn't.
Oh, it's not?
Press TV is Iranian.
Oh, is it?
Israel has their kibbutz. I don't think they even have a TV network. Israel's got a couple papers.
Interesting. Well,
you go to their website, it's .ir. That's Iran.
Oh, okay. I thought it was .ir means .Israel. Okay.
No, .ir is an Iranian site.
Iranian site. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing that Al Jazeera buys current TV anywhere, so.
Well, hold on. I wanted to,
Keep going with your thing, though.
Al Jazeera Network, this is in the press releases, Al Jazeera Media Network announces the purchase of current TV and the creation of Al Jazeera America, a new U.S.-based news channel that will provide both domestic and international coverage for American audiences. So it's just for us. It is American propaganda.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see somewhere in here, under the about at one point. I thought it had said it was from Qatar or Saudi, but I don't see it in there anymore. I bet you if I got out of the American version.
They're saying in the chat that, yes, you're right, it's Qatar.
Qatar, yeah. So anyway, but I have to say, I was really impressed with their TV coverage. Like, they have offices, they're really professional. And Pigmine posts a lot of the press TV clips because we're still able to get those off of YouTube. But come on, Iran. I mean, I am all for hearing other points of view, and I understand that, it's propaganda. I mean, that's why RT goes so out of their way to dig up dirt on our government. Because, right, we've talked about that. They want to destabilize us. Putin is putting $400 million minimum a year into RT to propagandize us, okay?
Right.
So by finding corruption in the United States like one of your core premises, that isn't to go, hey, American people, we're gonna fight for you. It's going, hey, American people, look at how sucky your government is. Right? And there's a purpose to that.
Yes.
But, press TV, they definitely have stories that I don't see anywhere else. So there have been good things that have come out, and I think Pigmine does like once a night sweep on press TV because they're nowhere near as prolific as like CNN or something. But honestly, people, when you see in this country, if you're going to do an American propaganda station, and this isn't to offend anyone of any other country or religion, but if you're going to do an American TV channel or news station that you are directing toward Americans, you probably want to take the head thing off as a reporter.
Right.
Like the, whatever they call them, the Muslim headdress.
Oh, the hijab.
Is that, yeah, the Habib?
Hijab, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. When I see a reporter sitting at a desk, I don't necessarily, when I first started seeing it, I was like, oh, okay, they're all wearing, headdresses. But, Joe Sixpack, let's pull up, didn't Joe Sixpack, wasn't he running for election at one point? Joe Sixpack sees that. Joe Sixpack isn't taking any of that seriously, okay? Not gonna hear it.
Right.
So I have to say, Al Jazeera, what I've seen, they have very much westernized, though, you're talking Saudi and Qatar, they are pretty western there, though they have a lot of traditional stuff too, but they have gotten how to reach Western culture, let's say. And I was very impressed by their coverage. And they had offices in all the big cities around the world.
Oh my God.
So keep an eye out for that anyway. And I'm sure that half the American public have no idea that Al Jazeera is actually originating out of the Middle East somewhere.
Right. And I've tried to they've shown clips on TV or whatever from Al Jazeera, and I've tried to go into the computer to find the clips. Can't find
they're all blocked. No,
yeah,
it's all blocked here.
Nothing. It's crazy.
It's all blocked. But it was right as they were releasing this TV network that all happened.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it was to force everyone off their YouTube channel, off their website. You can't even get to the American version of the website anymore either.
Yeah,
it tries to do geolocation. It does your IP address, and it says, no, you're in the country that's not allowed here. So,
oh my god!
But it's because they want you to watch their cable network because they can sell advertising and commercials on there. It's
sure,
big money.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know why I got off on Al Jazeera. Oh, because of the story that we're looking at right now. Here. Map what the epic China-Russia natural gas deal looks like. And I guess they've been negotiating this for a really long time. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I heard yesterday over 10 years or more. Here.
Wow.
Let's see. We'll see if I can find this. Any idea, Zori? Have you kept up on any of this China-Russia?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
I'm trying to see if it says. Well, this is a big deal because the scale of the project is worth over $60 billion. And they are going to be trading oil, mineral fuel, oil products, machinery, equipment, leather goods, ferrous metals, fur goods, chemical goods, textiles, ores, timbers, fish, seafood. I mean, guys, Russia and China having chummy relations. And then, I mean, how many times have we talked where we've looked at, Egypt then cutting a deal with China, shaking hands. Afghanistan, right? We talked about Kurzai. Now that
we've made enemies out of everyone. No one wants to shake our hands.
Yep. I mean, even Kurzai, now that all the shopping bags full of money have ended on his desk and he's no longer going to be the president, he must be some sort of emissary because he's over there shaking hands, agreeing to trade with China.
Oh boy. That put him on our shit list.
Yeah. Well, they're on our shit list because if they're making us leave, that means that our poppy crops and all the profits go away with it. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Oh boy.
Yeah. That'll be a reason to start a war again over there find some reason.
Yeah, well, China's actually investing in Afghanistan, guys. Mm-hmm. They're going to help them rebuild their infrastructure.
Yep.
Think about that one.
That's huge.
Think about that. That's very huge.
Shit.
Just think how many enemies we have made in the last 10 years. It's everyone.
Pretty much. Except for everyone that's on our side, but there aren't many on our side after the revelations that we spied on everyone.
That's right.
Yep, and they can be bought. They're all greed hounds. So,
All right, well, let me
go ahead.
Sorry. I was right. It says after almost a decade of negotiations, China and Russia inked a huge 30-year natural gas deal believed to be worth, $400 billion with a B dollars.
Whoa.
The deal gives energy-hungry China a vital new source of liquefied natural gas, and it gives the Russians an important new market for its energy resources, which is an imperative made all the more urgent by the renewed tensions with the West, sorry. The deal has been in the works for years, delayed over Sino-Russian wrangling over the price of gas. Reports suggest that Russian state company Gazprom obtained a price commensurate to what it charges European customers, a market that is desperate to wean itself off of dependence on Russian natural gas. Russia now aims to pipe 38 billion cubic meters worth of gas to China annually. Quote, this is the biggest contract in the history of the gas sector for the former USSR, trumpeted Vladimir Putin, who was on a visit to China this week. Our Chinese friends are difficult, hard negotiators, he said, unquote. But what does this deal actually look like? Russia says it will begin delivering gas by 2018, though some experts suggest that there won't be enough transportable gas ready to pipe from Russia until 2020. Then there's also the small matter of all the pipelines that need to be constructed. Russia will be investing $55 billion in pipeline construction, according to Reuters. Gazprom Chinese counterparts and China National Petroleum Corp will provide for similar infrastructure within China. And I was just thinking, getting back to this hacking story and these 5 Chinese military individuals that have been indicted by the United States. First time ever we've indicted without going through the country. Like, that whole thing was just so bizarro. But what companies were we accusing them of hacking into? Oh, energy and steel companies.
Of course.
Did you hear what we were just reading?
Yes.
Energy and steel between Russia and China.
Yeah.
And they hacked into energy and steel companies in the United States.
Right.
Stealing state secrets, trying to get a price point.
Ooh,
because we would share. I don't know. Just seemed like an interesting coincidence.
Very interesting.
For the Russians, the deal does not come a moment too soon. The Russians are keenly aware of growing competition as both Australia and the U.S. begin to export gas to Asia. Now, of course, we buy gas from all these other nations, but we produce it here and then we export it all. Were you aware of that? I was. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Right. Why don't we just use our own stuff? Instead of importing everything, it's all freaking retarded and backwards.
That's government for you, everything. Name one thing that the government's done that actually worked or made sense.
Crickets.
Crickets. Well, it really, logistically, it kind of does make sense for China and Russia to be like, doing exchanges back and forth, because aren't they technically like on the same damn continent?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it makes sense. Even
just
though,
like the high-speed rail.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
They were going to pipe it to Alaska.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense whatsoever. But, I don't... It's because it's going to be cutting into our profits. That's why we're having a freak out and we're going to start World War III over this.
Whoa, that story I just posted just got, like, on the page that has, like, only 1 view per story now. It has 1,400 subscribers. I get 1 view per story now.
Oh, jeez.
As Facebook throttled everything off. Well, that one got like 74 views in just a few minutes. So apparently a lot of people are pretty interested in what's going on in China.
As they should be.
Yeah, and this is big time bad, guys. It really is. This is a big deal because the next step is going to be to completely dump all the petrodollars, right?
Right.
We're not trading in that anymore. And they said that a long time ago. Russia and China were actually trading in their own local currencies, the ruble and whatever the hell, the Huang, Z. I don't even know what their dollar's called now. The Ching Chang. As it goes in your pocket.
Right.
I wanted to find that picture again. Where did it go of them having a cocktail?
This is huge.
Oh, it's gone now. Damn it.
Well,
Yeah,
the reason why it's huge is because the U.S. isn't in control of all the resources anymore, and it's freaking the banksters right out.
Well, it's not really, because here we are now in this race for time to see who can imperialize Africa faster, China or the U.S. And we have brand new invasions going on there under the guise of rescuing those 300 Nigerian girls.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you, I saw, and love him or not love him, Mike Rivero. I used to enjoy Mike's show when we simulcast him here in the afternoons. I mean, he always had some pretty good insight, I thought. I know there were a few topics he never touched on, and so everyone called him a shill. But hey, I have topics I don't touch on either. It's not because I'm a shill. It's because A, it really pisses me right the F off, and B, you guys probably wouldn't like my views. So I just don't share them with you.
There you go.
That doesn't mean I'm a shill. It just means that it's going to cause more trouble than it's worth, and I'm probably going to start calling you nasty names. So we're not going to go there.
Right.
Keeps things much happier. So, anyway, though, the one thing that I saw Rivero post not too long ago was something talking about how that whole operation by Boko Haram was already, they kidnapped the girls, and the girls were released like a week later. So, now, I'm not saying, I don't know, I read a couple stories, but all of our media is making it out that we're now putting drones in there, and we got all of our Secret Service. We're not putting boots on the ground yet, but we gotta go rescue all these girls. And they got a Twitter storm, and, we're trying to get the public all involved and feel bad for these girls. Meanwhile, we now have operations in Central Africa and just opened a new drone base in Chad.
Right.
To go look for these girls. Now, if it's true, even if it's not true that the girls have already come back home again, okay, even if that is not true, we are using that as a way to get our foot into another piece of the pie, right? Because that's where all the resources are. That's where the gold mines and the lithium and the water. They found this huge aquifer up in northern Africa.
Did they know?
Western, yeah, it was a while ago. If you look at the resource maps, you'll see. And so I just call it all bullshit. But you know what? I mean, even more convenient if Boko Haram was some sort of CIA invention.
Bing, 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 bing. I think you just hit it right on the head, right there.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that how this all works?
It is how this all works. These bastards this is exactly how they operate. I'm sure they're CIA paid shills or CIA paid Africans that made up this Boko Haram name, and then they're like, oh look, we're gonna go and kidnap, and then they said even they're gonna kidnap more girls, they said, so here's more.
And now causing explosions. And
yeah.
There was just some big slaughter yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a Pigmine post another big slaughter in where is it, Nigeria?
Nigeria.
By Boko Haram.
Yeah.
So, I definitely see this Russia-China issue being played out on multiple fronts. And this African thing is huge. China was in Africa. They were eating up the entire eastern seaboard. They were in there investing, loaning money, going, hey, well, you want a military? Sure, we'll build you a nice big military complex and companies and all the industries to do it. Oh, what? You don't have the money to start paying back the loans? Well, don't worry about it. We'll run it for you. And China's been imperializing the way the IMF does.
Right.
Same bullshit. Same book of cards they're playing there.
It is. We'll lend you all this money, and you'll be indebted to us forever.
Forever.
You'll never get out of this debt, and we don't really expect to get paid back, but we now own all your resources.
Exactly. We'll mine your gold, and that'll take care of the loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be fooled by any of this. That is why we are all over that African continent. It is not because all of a sudden, whoa, there are just all these terror groups popping up everywhere. And it's all Al-Qaeda's fault. Bullshit. It's all the CIA's fault and all the guns we ran out of Libya.
Yes, abso-freaking-lutely.
And look at how conveniently Libya was located. And now, of course, Libya is in absolute mass chaos.
Yes. And Nigeria is under martial law, too, right now.
Is it?
Yeah, that was on the Pick Mine videos.
Nigeria? No, that's Taiwan, I thought, or
No, literally. I went into the recent activity and they're saying Nigeria is under martial law.
Yeah, I fell asleep, so I missed all the uploads last night. I did. I woke up sitting up straight up.
Oh my god. Did you?
I hate when I do that.
Oh no.
With a message saying, "Are you there?"
Oh my god.
No, apparently not. Well, yes, I am. The question would be more accurate is, are you conscious?
Right.
Because the answer was no.
Or is that snoring I hear?
Right. On air? Alright, hold on. We are going to scroll here from 9 hours ago and see what I missed. How about Ann Coulter defends Pat Sajak's tweets about global warming conspiracy theorists being racist?
Oh my god.
Pat Sajak, stick to the wheel, alright?
Stick to the wheel. That's awesome.
I am, you know what, I decided my dad loves Wheel of Fortune so much. I am gonna get him, oh wait, he's probably listening, never mind. I'm not telling you what your Father's Day gift is.
Sorry, Pops.
I found it though, it's awesome. My grandmother would be proud.
Right on. Sajak, what a dimweed.
Yeah, from last night I didn't see anything about
yesterday afternoon
in Africa. I thought it was Taiwan.
It was Nigeria. I seen it too.
Under martial law?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find it. I'm not even at my computer. It was from. Here, I'll have to dig around. Ugh.
No, I posted them all over. It's Thailand, guys.
Thailand?
Thailand is under martial law. Yeah, there's no one in Africa Africa doesn't give a shit. They just kill them all or put them into a FEMA camp. That's all they're doing. Well, they're blowing things up and then everyone's running scared and then they put barbed wire fences around them at the airport.
Right.
Yeah, it's Thailand, guys. I don't see Nigeria. There's lots of explosions and stuff happening and I thought they just killed more people. Boko Haram did.
My whole freaking computer just crashed again.
Touch that topic. Well, wait, if your computer crashed, you're hosting the call.
Oh, it's just Firefox crashed.
Oh, good. All right.
So it's not gonna interfere, right? If it's
Shouldn't.
just Firefox, okay. All right, so I'll just do that. I just can't look that up now. Here it is. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys.
Sorry. So I wanted to continue on this path that I am now probably not going to finish again. I wanted to talk about Putin for a few minutes because a few things happened. So did you guys see that Putin is now sworn off swearing? They have now banned swearing in Russia.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
They banned it in films, books, and music. So that's homosexuality, that's swearing, and Putin to Russian bloggers. You now operate at my discretion. On Monday, Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a new, notice how I say it like tarply. I think it sounds funny the way he says it. The Russian president signed a new law that will require bloggers to register with the government. The law is widely expected to give Putin an easier way to track and regulate online opinion and to deny registration to those it dislikes. What do you think about that happening all over? Because I think something like that, this whole internet driver's license that, when I posted that story a few weeks ago, I think I got like 6,000 views on that story. That thing went viral. Right.
It's absolutely crazy, man. I don't know, man. The clampdowns are going on. Go for it.
Shally just messaged me. I think he messaged me last night. He wanted to come on, but he's ready to go. Can you pull him in?
Oh, absolutely. Let me find him here. And you're right, it is Thailand that's under martial law. Sorry about that. Let me see here. Here he is.
I just found an article where it says parts of Nigeria placed under martial law.
Dated when and...
oh wait, December. Never mind. It was last year. Okay. Sorry. Forgot
trust
to
me,
look at the date.
those videos go through my head 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a topic, I'll give you the video. I probably have the link memorized.
There you go. Now, is Shally on with us?
He appears to be.
Breathing.
I'm here.
Hey!
Morning.
Morning.
How is weather in overcast Philadelphia?
Exactly that, or just massive chemtrailing.
Yeah, no, there was a big weather system coming through.
Right.
It's pretty crappy here too. It hasn't rained though. It was all below us, but it looked like it was hitting you guys.
Yeah, we get a little bit. It's not too bad. I mean, I guess on days when it's overcast, you can maybe say that the geoengineering particulate level is down. I guess you could say, so maybe it's a good thing. I've been taking advantage of some of the sun when it's out. Get out there and kind of do a little bit of the whatever activity in the sun for a little while, 10, 15 minutes or so, before they attack the sky and then the rest of us after that. So how's everything, ladies? Sounds like a very interesting topics this morning.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Just last week for me was a pre-recorded, and I did Jordan and I did a podcast last night. I'm gonna send it over to Jules after the show today for this weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I'll be back live the following week. A week from Sunday. So.
Yeah, that's great. It's my anniversary, but I'm the one who's working.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause guess what? Everybody wants off this weekend. Joel, I can't do my show.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know. I'm taking off. I'm actually going to the Southern Tier to go ride my ATV. So anyone who doesn't get me their stuff, we're running reruns.
There you go.
Well, we had a pretty good podcast last night. It's very, very interesting.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it was good last week.
Mm-hmm. So that's I'll send that over after the program after 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, wait until after 12 because Kevin's on at 11.
Okay.
It's a 3-hour show, so it's going to suck bandwidth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. What was, I heard you talking about, you said things were, trending in the pandemic,
actually, Wendy, I want to, if we can connect, I want to play a clip or two, because I've had all these clips. I can't, maybe I can connect, hold on.
I think I did connect you.
Yeah, you did. I just gotta connect here. I mean, I'm seeing some interesting connections between the pandemic thing, the, hacking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go.
Trending in the pandemic.
Oh, come on.
I did that. You there, Jules?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had to hang up because I can't stand listening to feedback.
Oh.
Yeah, I have no train of thought left, so I don't know. Why don't you guys talk?
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to do this another show, I think, because it's all fucking broken now.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's not broken. It's just there's no continuity here. I mean, there's a whole story to tell, and now it's just big disjointed, broken pieces that make no sense. So we might as well talk about something else and do this another day.
All right?
Right.
I mean, there's only 20 minutes left, so I'm not even going to get to like 2 of these stories, and it doesn't make any sense to even talk about it.
Okay.
Previews of something to come?
What?
No previews or anything of just like a little tidbit like they do on the like they did on the news the other night. They're like they tell a story and it's like, or a little bit of the story, more to come, and then you think that in the next segment they're going to hit it, and then they say, oh, it's like one of those ones that keeps you.
Yeah, at the end of the show they go, and
then they actually tell you at the end, because it's one of those hooks. It's like, hey, not that people aren't going to stick around to the end of the show, but just a little blurb like tomorrow on after the first cup.
In other words, he wants a preview as to what you're going to talk about.
My Facebook page, I feed them into the Before the First Cup website page. Let's talk about this scary ass new NSA chief, something totally different. And actually it's not, it's on the fringe related, because if us accusing China with this dude being in office, a month, is any indication as to the future, put on a seatbelt. We thought Keith Alexander was bad.
Oh yeah.
We've been watching this now for the last couple of years, just this whole ramp up of, fear, hackers. There weren't really any hackers before, and Anonymous wasn't really bothering anyone, and the ones they were bothering were ones that sometimes really deserved it.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
And so, once they started to ramp this up and talk about, here's what I'm curious about. Someone explained to me why Obama came out and Panetta, and they had talked about hacking being an act of war last year, I believe. And so now we've indicted these 5 Chinese military, and like someone said in chat last night, like the pot calling the kettle black, right? That we're pointing fingers going, oh, you hacked us. And it's not even like they hacked the government. They hacked 5 freaking corporations. Hey, you know what? Those 5 corporations, maybe they should be working with the Microsoft Cyber Center. Right? Isn't that what they're about? We gotta get all the private industry now on board with the government controls to lock down your systems. Otherwise, these big, nasty, scary hackers in China are gonna hack you.
Yeah, there was like 6 companies, and it's like you barely, heard of them before. It was so that they were like low, in mid-level, but low mid-level.
Well, I'd heard of them. I mean, it's Westinghouse, which is GE, which is running all the nuclear reactors that are melting down in Japan. Kind of a big deal. They're also the ones that are in the middle of this whole Ukrainian, Russian-U.S. fight over who's going to sell uranium to the nuclear reactors in Ukraine. It's Westinghouse. And they had Hillary Clinton in there trying to broker the deal before she left the State Department. So it is kind of a big deal.
It's do as I say, not as I do.
One thing that I found, really, odd was the fact that Westinghouse, being owned by GE, GE, after Obama had designated CEO of GE, Jeffrey Immelt, to be the U.S. job czar, if you guys remember that, he took their entire healthcare division and moved it to China.
They bring this thing to life.
Yeah.
And all the light bulbs. They got rid of all the incandescent and made them the CFL bulbs, which are also all produced in China. And hey, what? They're super freaking toxic? Well, yeah. You need a hazmat team if you break one.
Yep.
I totally believe that this whole, whatever we see here is like China was told, listen, Eric Holder's gonna come out tomorrow and say that you're bad for what you're doing and all that other stuff, and they're like, here's what you're gonna say, here's what you're gonna broker this deal with Russia, and it's just all very, very, step 1, step 2, step 3.
It's a stage.
Yeah.
They are playing a play.
Yes.
And guess what? Everybody wins because the military-industrial complex that they're all invested in every single one of them makes money.
Yep.
All of them. And then let's just pretend.
Even more.
So they declare cyber war, cyber attacks as an act of war. So then they go and accuse these 5 Chinese officials or whatever. And so does that mean now that we're at cyber war with China?
Well, that's what I'm asking, because I very distinctly remember them announcing that cyber attacks are an act of war. Yeah. That's why every military division now has its own cyber division.
That's right.
Every division has their own cyber division.
Time to rape the internet.
Sure is, and that's what's going on here. This is going to give them every single right now, they're going to say, to go and get rid of anonymity and to start locking down on things. And don't think that this Microsoft Cyber Patrol Center that's in cahoots with every law enforcement agency globally, working together in a cooperative fashion, isn't going to have something to do with it.
Absolutely.
Billy Gates is back in the driver's seat, people.
Oh.
He's another billionaire. Him and freaking Putin, man, rubbing elbows at the top of the table.
He's like, we see here is we have to are we going to let grandma live for another 2 or 3 years?
Right.
Or are we going to hire 10 Common Core teachers to teach your kids shit? We're going to hire the teachers and 10 grandmas are going to get killed. Now I'm going to pull the plug on all of them because I'm a fucking nerd.
They're
I'm a nerd. I'm a serial killer posing as a nerd.
Well, actually, as they start to cry climate change and global warming, that would be a great way for them to say we don't have enough power to leave Nana on the life support machine.
Well, see, the thing, I mean, I go into the Pat Sajak thing, and I was involved and you'll hear more on the podcast on Sunday if you're listening then. I saw that tweet, and I responded to that tweet saying, you're the man, Sajak. Thanks for your courage, right? And then, boom, I was hammered. I was totally hammered by all these comments. They weren't eating brains. They were just eating lies. I was attacked for days. I was in a string. Sajak was like, oh my God, look what I started. I don't know whether he was feeling powerful or regretting it, but, I think that it's important for a lot of these Hollywood liberals if they are conservatives, not that, obviously the left-right paradigm, we don't know how far, Pat Sajak is up the ass of the left-right paradigm, but pretty inflammatory, statement there. But he did say at the end, he was like, good night. So at least he could have said, go F yourself. But I was like involved in that whole thing and just unbelievable. And I was like, I was saying, what are you people getting out of this? Do you want to be taxed more? Is this what you want? You want to be right, so you want to be on the right side, so you can be taxed more. It makes absolutely no sense to me how these people they wish and pray for enslavement.
I mean, it's got to mean something that an iconic game show host in the United States actually comes out and says something like political. You know what I mean? Like Sajak has been in everyone's living room for 30 freaking years. It's got to be by now, right? I don't know how long. 20 at least. How long has Wheel of Fortune been on? It was my grandfather's favorite show.
30. It is more like 30. Isn't Vanna White just like trying to stave off those wrinkles and shit? I mean,
osteoporosis. You can hear
that. I mean, it's up there. It's about 30.
And the flabby under the biceps. Yeah. On the sleeveless dress.
Did the guy before him commit suicide?
I don't know. I don't remember anyone before Pat Sajak.
Or was it the guy? Oh no, it was the guy who that hosted, what was it? The Family Feud. It was a Family Feud guy, not
Richard Dawson.
Not Dawson, no, the guy that was after him.
Oh, I don't know.
One of the other.
I watched Richard Dawson days.
But Sajak, I mean, for people to say that, and he's going to take a lot of structural damage. I mean, if he's still doing Wheel of Fortune, and more power to him. I doubt that what he said is going to get him removed from
Sajak probably doesn't give two shits at this point. I mean, think about how much money he's probably made.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody knows him, so what does he care? But I just think it was kind of interesting that somebody like that has at least an opinion. You know what I mean? Like, people like that usually just drink the Kool-Aid and freaking live off their millions and do whatever.
It's sure is to have an opinion these days.
Yeah, maybe.
Especially if you're a Sajak.
And especially if you want to boost your Twitter feed.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the guy's probably got enough money where I don't know that he's like, oh, how many followers do I have? Oh, I got 5 followers. I got 5 followers today.
But I mean, would you want the legacy of that to be that Ann Coulter's on supporting you?
Here's the thing. Whenever I get into one of these, pissing matches, in tweeting or whatever on Facebook, everybody's always like, oh, you must be, you're the Koch brothers or Big Oil's paying you or News is paying you. And the thing here is that I can sit and watch Fox News. I can watch Sean Hannity and agree with some of the things that he says and then vehemently be against something that he says. I don't sit and watch the news like I used to. I don't fall into that thing. Now, Ann Coulter, I used to think that she was, because the brainwashing and the social engineering was so powerful, I was like, hate, anyone who likes Bush, hate them. No, you gotta pray for them, I guess. But the thing is that I can sit there and watch Ann Coulter now and think, okay, she brings some good things to the table because this liberal class, this Democratic scourge that's going on now is ridiculous. And, the Republicans aren't doing much to stop it. Boehner's not doing anything to stop, Obamacare anymore.
Nobody's doing anything to stop anything.
He's not doing anything to stop anything. He's playing golf with Dumbama. And the whole thing is moving in a direction where, as much as people, don't like the Republicans, we have a one-party system now. We're in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, there might not even be that party, and you're just going to have these authoritarian liberal Democrats like Nancy Pelosi, who evidently gave birth to all of these climate zombies, because they all have brain damage to a certain extent. We're in trouble. We're in big trouble. But I can watch Fox News and say, I don't agree with you, Sean Hannity, you scumbag, and then if he says something that makes sense, I say, all right, well, I agree with you there. But people just, in general, just hate Fox News. And I don't know. It's
something I've been learning over the last year or so.
Fox Business is a little better. So if you can't stomach Fox News, maybe Fox Business, there's a few people on there that are making a little bit of sense. But
yeah, it's all about being able to listen. And it doesn't matter where the source is. It's to be able to listen, to use your own brain to draw your own conclusions. Don't believe what they say just because they say it. Use it for information, file it away, and then draw your own opinion.
Absolutely.
Where did these 10,000 scientists that are saying climate change is real and all this stuff? People don't realize the level of all they have to do is say, scientists said, and that's it.
Half of them are paid shills, and I'm going to tell you what, I have a bunch of friends that are PhDs, and every single one of them just eat up all this bullshit. And it's because you might be book smart, but it's obvious to me that people don't do the research. They believe shit because they were told it.
Go along together.
Right. Just like them accusing you of being paid by the Koch brothers, and it's like all these.
I wish I was paid by the Koch brothers.
Leftist talking points. It's all these keywords that they use, and then it's the same like with Fox being loaded with shills. Well, sure it is, but they've got to sprinkle little bits of truth because they're actually keeping that gate. It's the gatekeepers, you know what I mean? Man Coulter and Shiloh Vibely and all those guys. Glenn Becker is all just gatekeepers. I mean, that's all they're good for, really, is just to keep the real secrets safe, where they put up, some of the truth, but not really all of it. And it's the same shit on the other side, too. And really, there's no difference between the left and the right. And we all know that. Well, most of us know that.
Yeah. It's sad. The brainwashing has been so saturated for so long that we're polarized, we're divided, and that's what they want. I mean, look at the McDonald's. Did you see the Drudge report this morning? McDonald's, the whole thing about minimum wage, or was it, has exploded. 1,000 stormed McDonald's headquarters somewhere in suburban Chicago.
There was a protest.
Illinois, demanding $15 an hour pay. So this is just more of the Obama divide and conquer.
The thing that's so sad about that is what none of those people realize is that they're all being replaced.
Yeah.
They already have those automated hamburger cooking robots, where it's going to go through and make the entire McDonald's hamburger. I saw the video on it, so they don't need them anymore. They are going to automate and tie in the, the drive-through. You're not going to need anybody in there anymore at all. Not just for McDonald's, for most of our basic jobs. And Bill Gates came out and said, already, the robots are going to replace your jobs.
You know what's going to happen? When the robots come in, they're actually going to make those hamburgers look exactly the way they do in the ads, and not all with, all stuff hanging out.
Shit, yeah.
The robots are going to put the bun perfectly on top of everything, and it's going to be, that's just the way it looks in the ad.
They won't call in sick. They won't come in hungover.
Right.
They won't verbally abuse your customers.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Why the future doesn't need us, right? Like that.
They're storming in protest the headquarters of McDonald's, but they really should be bitching and screaming about is the quality of the freaking food that's almost as good as eating cardboard.
How much does it nutritionally?
That was a whole protest, and I thought it was global for fast food workers. That was a part of.
How much does it cost and how does it taste? That's it. That's it. That's all people are really concerned with.
Yep.
Could be a steaming pile with hot fudge on it and call it a sundae.
Right.
Like, yummy.
Right.
Sundae.
I want to remind everybody that the March Against Monsanto everywhere is this weekend, Saturday. So make sure you go to march-against-monsanto.com. If there isn't one in your area, then make one. I heard them yesterday suggesting just getting signs and going to your grocery store, which is awesome too. Stand outside and tell people about GMO foods.
That's awesome.
Tomorrow night is going to be a March Against Monsanto show with Nick, DB, and Levon Friday night. So make sure you catch that. We got Mr. Kevin Blanche up next. I don't see Dan online, so hoping Dan remembers Kevin's got a show. If not, we might have dead air for a few minutes because I'll have to call Kevin. And that's about it. I don't know. Stick around, Mr. Kevin Blanche. What is tonight? Tonight's Thursday. So we got, we have, Chuck is on at 6 o'clock. Yeah. And then Vince, and then Chuck and Drew. And by the way, Drew is starting a new show. We think it's going to run on Sunday, and he's going to call it Off Grid Journey. And it'll be all about farming in Fallout and doing things of that nature.
Awesome.
So, all right, guys, we got about 30 seconds left. That's it. I need to find Kevin's phone number.
Thank you, Jules.
Yeah, it's good.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
It's good to have you guys all on.
Yeah, same here.
think
and
she
happy
always...
Memorial Day weekend, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
It is a long weekend.
Sajak. Look for more from Sajak.
And there we go.
Have a great day.
All right, guys. Everybody have an awesome day. We'll catch you soon.